Hello everyone, SirMonkeySuit here, back again with Yowamushi. We're on episode 9 of season 1, and in the last episode, we had Onoda, who did actually catch up to the front two, Naruko and Imaizumi. However, since then, Naruko has actually dropped back because, all of this fucking sprinting and going hard has finally caught up to him, as I imagined it would. Not only has he been going hard on the straights, but he has been going hard uphill as well, so obviously it's taken it out of him. So yeah, I can't wait for Naruko to eventually catch up again. He says he would catch up back on the downslope and he'll be back in the race. So yeah, that'd be good. I don't know if it's going to happen this episode, but we'll wait and see. So yeah, it's just essentially the front two, Onoda and Imaizumi. They're almost having a race within a race. So it's just a race to the peak, which obviously isn't the finish line, but that's all that's in Onoda's head at the minute. And he's managed to, because he's thinking about that race, that Imaizumi is also just thinking about that as well. So pushing others to go all out essentially, and we learned that Onoda's specialty is actually climbing. So I figured as much, since that is what the focus was on in the first couple of episodes. That's how we actually got involved in this whole thing, was Imaizumi and whatnot, like seeing Onoda get up that steep incline behind the school, right? So yeah, not surprising that is actually his specialty. So yeah, I don't think we really need to talk about anything else. We're just going to see if we get the winner, like the answer to who's going to win this battle up to the top of the mountain. I'm kind of hoping it is Onoda, because I don't think he's lasting the rest of this race. I mean, I don't know. I might be wrong, because he has shown that he's got that stamina to go far, but he's going all out. He went all out just to catch up to them. So I'm almost tempted to say that his sort of, he'll be looked at and sort of respected for being able to actually beat them up the mountain. But then after that, he might trail off a bit, So he'll still be respected in the race, but obviously he won't get the, I don't know if he'll finish. He may end up getting third, but you never know. You never know. We'll just have to wait and see. So yeah, we're going to stop talking and we're going to get in episode 9, see what we get. So without further ado, let's go. Okay, episode 9. Right, so yeah, right, obviously picking up right where we left off, in the middle of the race between Imaizumi and Onoda. The amount of times they kept underestimating them. I think that was like possibly the third time where they were like, nah, he's not going to do it. And then he does it, you know what I mean? I am quite happy. Well, first of all, yeah, so Onoda wins the race to the peak, as I figured he would. And it turned out exactly how I thought it would. I pretty much got all of this spot on. So Onoda would win the race to the peak. He wouldn't be able to continue any further because he would go all out in that regard. And then Imaizumi would win the race overall. So yeah, I pretty much got all of that spot on. But I'm kind of glad that that's the way that it turned out, because had Onoda been able to continue on and actually finish the race and still be sort of in it, I would feel like it was a bit overbearing, a bit too much, bit like, how is this guy, like, like he hasn't trained for any of this yet, he was able to keep up in the whole race, because even the fact of like when they pointed out, like, he's had to stop and then catch up and surpass 5 people, you know what I mean, 2 of which are like, they have trained to do this kind of thing, right? And he's passed them both to get to the peak before them, and that was a hell of a lot of fucking time to catch up, So even with that, like, I was thinking, like, holy shit, is this a bit much? Because it's early on, like, it's the first race that he's been in, So like, I prefer when, like, things like when the protagonist of the show has a hill to climb, so to speak, and actually, like, work to get there, as opposed to being like the best from the outset, so I'm quite happy that it turned out the way that it did, because I felt like, yeah, after going all out to get up to the top, like, I just find even on a descent, like, I feel like it's just gonna be too much for him, because he hasn't trained in that kind of regard, So yeah, he wins with the help of Naruko. I like the fact that when he goes by him, he realizes straight away and gives him a sort of a high five on the way past. I like that. And yeah, what they told who was it that said like it doesn't? Was it the big guy? He said that the peak doesn't count unless he finishes. Now I don't know if that's like if he's talking about that in regards to like, oh, you technically you don't get the win or the jersey if you hit the peak, but you don't finish the stage. I don't know if that was what he was referring to, or he's just basically like giving him some, outright like no, like giving him a sort of a push to continue on and finish the race. But yeah, it doesn't matter because he gets given it anyway, so it's like a polka dot kind of thing. I feel like I have seen that before. I mean, like I said, I don't watch actual cycling, but my dad does, and I think I can recall like seeing somebody with a white jersey with red dots on it. So I wonder if that is actually what the actual jersey is. I mean, I feel like it would be because I don't see why they wouldn't incorporate like things from the actual sport into here, because I feel like sports anime, they do sports just like, they do them justly, so yeah, I think it probably would be. But yeah, Naruko catching up to Imaizumi pretty much immediately after he's hit the descent. I mean, I say immediately, as much as I'm aware of like how time is used. I say it like time and time again, but the whole thing with like anime time and that, like, things can occur, things that like occur in like a sort of a 5-second window can like last, however long the anime decides it can last, so I mean, there was clearly a flash forward at some point because all of a sudden they were at the end of the race. I'm pretty sure after the descent there was still like another section of the race to go, and obviously we didn't see that because I guess the point is to show Onoda as sort of part of the race. We don't need to see Naruko and Imaizumi going at it. I don't think they had anything else that they really needed to offer in the race other than let's just see who wins at the end. So yeah, I mean, I sort of had it in my mind that Imaizumi would, because I thought it pushed this idea that Naruko is a sprinter at heart, and that's what he is. Where I sort of see Imaizumi as an all-rounder in a way. So I thought that he would be able to handle the climb better and just get be able to sort of conserve his energy a bit more and whatnot, whereas Naruko is like so passionate and he's got that sort of that sprinter personality like within him to just fucking go for it 100%, and like 120 at some point. So I figured that would be the case. It's a shame, but that basically means that Naruko is the one that come out with nothing at the end there out of the three of them. It's going to be interesting to see how they choose these people for the upcoming, like, the inter-high thing then, because they said they were only going to pick 2. I mean, there's a few ways they could go about it. I feel like it's either going to be Imaizumi and Naruko, or it's going to be Imaizumi and Onoda, right? I mean, it has to be. It's not like they're not going to leave Imaizumi out of it, and so it's either that or they decide that, oh, we're going to take 3 people. But again, like, I don't know if there's like a cap. I don't know if there's a cap like on how many people they're allowed to take. So yeah, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. So yeah, afterwards, I suppose during the sort of race for the peak, I like how Makishima was like the first one to purely cheer him on, because I was thinking throughout the previous episodes and whatnot how he was the one to sort of stand up and say like, oh, he's not going to be able to do it, because he's the climber himself, right? He's the one that's the climber in that group, so that he would sort of understand the hardships it would take to do that. But also at the end there, that taking Onoda sort of under his wing, as he's the climber of the group, so all of them recognizing that that's his specialty, that it would be good to have that sort of mentorship, having him there to help him out with maybe technique and stuff like that. Same thing with Naruko and the big butch guy, the big bear of a man. So yeah, and then I guess having the captain have Imaizumi under him, you know. So there's like mentorships across the whole crew in a way. And also that at the end, what was that? Is Makashima gay or something? I feel like calling him like a bear of a man cute, and then the other thing of him like turning around with that sort of flush face and whatever. Like I don't know. I guess it doesn't really matter, but because you know I don't really see it as like a sports anime generally they don't do the whole like. I don't think they incorporate like story things as like relationships and stuff like that, you know, as like real life sort of, you know, adaptation in the actual show. But you know, so I feel like it's just going to focus on the sports and whatnot. But yeah, just because that's what I got from the end, like after the end credit scene. So yeah. But yeah, that was all for episode 9. Unfortunately, Naruko was the one that came away with nothing in the end, which, you know, that's gutting because he is my favorite character. So yeah. But I guess, you know, I had a feeling it was sort of that was to be, and that's what ended up happening. But yeah, that was all for episode 9. So thank you everyone for watching. In the description below, links to certain things. Discord, get yourself over there, join us in the community. My website, SirMonkeySuit.com, all my content is over there, get yourself over there. And Patreon, so if you do want to support me on Patreon, that'd be very much appreciated. There's a bunch of different tiers and rewards depending on how much you want to support me with. Early access, $5 a month, you can gain access to shows a week early, and you'll be getting 4 episodes of Hunter x Hunter every single week. So if you're interested in that, come on, early access to our Patreon. Full length, $10 a month, that gives you access to my full length library. Everything I react to gets full length. Exclusive tier, that gives you access to a bonus show I'm currently reacting to, which is 7 Deadly Sins. So if you're interested in that, get yourself over there, become an exclusive tier patron. $50, that is the elite tier. Every time you pay $50, you get a choice of a show that you want me to react to, and I will react to it. It will go at the back of the list by about 7 shows. Might take me a while to get round to it, but I will do eventually. But if you don't want to wait that long and you want your show to be reacted to next, then you want to get God tier, which is $100. But that is all. So thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.